Our today's topic is limiting reagent. Many a time, the reactions are carried out when the reactants are not present in the amounts as required by a balanced chemical reaction. In such situations, one reactant is in excess over the other. The reactant which is present in the lesser amount gets consumed after some time, and after that no further reaction takes place, whatever be the amount of the other reactant present. Hence, the reactant which gets consumed limits the amount of product formed and is therefore called limiting reagent. So, if you have two reactants, suppose we are having two reactants A and B, and they react with each other to form product. So, out of the two, if B is in less amount as compared to a balanced equation, then in that case B will be known as limiting reagent. And due to the less amount of B, the product formed will be less. So limiting reagent limits the formation of a product. Let us take a numerical to understand this. Problem 1.5. 50 kilogram of N2 and 10 kilogram of H2 are mixed to produce NH3. Calculate the NH3 formed. Identify the limiting reagent in the production of NH3 in this situation. So first of all, if we write the formation of ammonia, so the equation is N2 plus N2 plus 3H2 reversibly gives 2NH3. Now molar mass of N2 is 28 gram. Molar mass of 3H2 is 3 into 2, that is 6 gram. So 28 gram nitrogen reacts with 6 gram of hydrogen. Now here what is the mass of nitrogen? 50 kilogram. So 50 kilogram nitrogen should react with what amount of hydrogen? Okay, because here the amount of hydrogen which is given, that is 10 kilogram, is not according to the balanced equation. That's why first of all we have to find out that according to the balanced equation what should be the mass of hydrogen. So when you do crisscross, when we do cross multiplication, so that is 50 kilogram into 6 gram upon 28 gram. Now here gram cancelled. Now 50 into 6 upon 28. So that is equal to 10.71 kilogram hydrogen. So this should be the mass of hydrogen. But in the question, the given mass of hydrogen is only 10 kilogram. So that means the mass of hydrogen is less as compared to a balanced equation. That means hydrogen is a limiting reagent. Therefore, hydrogen is a limiting reagent. Now we have to find out the amount of ammonia formed. The amount of ammonia formed will depend upon limiting reagent. That means on hydrogen. So again we will write down the equation N2 plus 3H2 reversibly gives 2NH3. Now according to balanced equation, the amount of hydrogen is 6 gram. Okay. So here, in order to find out the amount of ammonia, we have to just consider the amount of hydrogen, because the amount of product formed always depends upon the limiting region. So here we are having 3 into 2, that is 6 gram of hydrogen will always form. Now for ammonia, what is the molar mass? For nitrogen it is 14, for 3 hydrogen it is 3, so 14 plus 3 is 17 into 2, so that is 34 gram. So 6 gram hydrogen forms 34 gram ammonia. Now in our question, what is the mass of hydrogen given? So as hydrogen is a limiting reagent, what is the amount of hydrogen given? 10 kilogram. So here we will see that 6 gram hydrogen forms 34 gram ammonia. So 10 kilogram hydrogen should form what amount of ammonia? So when we do crisscross or cross multiplication, you will get 10 kilogram into 34 gram. So 10 kilogram into 34 gram divided by 6 gram. So gram cancelled. Now 10 into 34 divided by 6. So 10 into 34 divided by 6. So that is equal to 56.7 kilogram ammonia. So this is our answer. So mass of ammonia formed will be 56.7 kilogram. Now next topic is reactions in solutions. A majority of reactions in the laboratories are carried out in solutions. Therefore, it is important to understand as how the amount of substance is expressed when it is present in the form of a solution. The concentration of a solution or the amount of substance present in its given volume can be expressed in any of the following ways. So these are the different ways of expressing the amount of solution, or we say concentration of solution. Number one is mass percent, which is also known as weight percent, denoted by percentage weight by weight. Second is mole fraction. Third is molarity. And fourth is molality. Let us now study each one of them in detail. So first is mass percent. It is obtained by using the following relation. Mass percent equal to, in the numerator, mass of solute divided by mass of solution. into 100%. So here we have to remember that in the numerator, the mass of solute will be taken in terms of gram, and in the denominator, mass of total solution is taken. Okay, that is the mass of solute plus mass of solvent. So that is the mass of solution. That is again taken in gram. So in numerator and denominator, both the masses are taken in terms of gram, and we have to multiply it with 100%. So here one numerical is given on the basis of mass percent. A solution is prepared by adding 2 gram of substance A to 180 gram of water, 18 gram of water. Calculate the mass percent of the solution. So mass percent of A, that is solute, equal to mass of solute, that is mass of A, divided by mass of solution into 100%. So that is equal to, now in the numerator, mass of solute is 2 gram. So we'll write 2 gram divided by mass of solution. So that is 2 plus 18. Okay, solute plus solvent. So 2 plus 18 in the denominator into 100%. So that is equal to 2 gram upon 20 gram into 100%. So that will come out as 10%. So that is the percentage weight by weight. Now second method to express concentration of solution is mole fraction. It is the ratio of number of moles of a particular component to the total number of moles of the solution. If a substance A dissolves in substance B and their number of moles are Na and Nb respectively, then the mole fraction of A and B are given as, now mole fraction of A equal to, in the numerator we have to take number of moles of A, and in the denominator we have to take the number of moles of solution. So in the numerator always we have to take the number of moles of that component whose mole fraction is to be found. So here we have to find out mole fraction of A. So in the numerator we have to take the number of moles of A divided by total number of moles. So in that both the number of moles will be added. So Na plus Nb. Similarly, if we have to find out mole fraction of B, then that is equal to number of moles of B divided by number of moles of solution. So equal to, in the numerator it is Nb upon, in the denominator it is Na plus Nb. Now next is molarity. It is the most widely used unit and is denoted by capital M. It is defined as the number of moles of solute in 1 liter of the solution. Thus, molarity in the bracket capital M equal to number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. Now here you can see that in the denominator we have to take the volume of the entire solution, while in the numerator we have to take number of moles of only solute. So in the denominator, if you take volume of solution as 1 liter, so denominator if it is 1, then in that case numerator and answer will become equal. So that's why it is written, okay, according to definition, number of moles of solute in 1 liter of solution will become equal to molarity. Suppose we have 1 molar solution of a substance, say NaOH. So that all we will see in the numerical, then only you will understand. Now next is number 4, molality. Okay, here L is there, molality. It is defined as the number of moles of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent and is denoted by small m. Thus molality small m equal to, so here you can see that the numerator will remain same, okay, that is number of moles of solute. but in denominator there will be 3 changes as compared to molarity. Okay, in case of molality, that is small m, in the denominator instead of volume you have to take mass, instead of solution you have to take solvent, and instead of liter you have to take kilogram. So these 3 changes we have to do. Okay, so molality equal to number of moles of solute upon mass of solvent in kilogram. Now in the denominator, if mass of solvent is taken as 1 kilogram, then number of moles of solute upon 1 will be equal to molality. That means when mass of solvent in 1 kg, then number of moles of solute and molality both will become equal. So that's why in the definition it is written that molality is nothing but number of moles of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent. Now let us see problem 1.7. Calculate the molarity of NaOH in the solution prepared by dissolving its 4 gram in enough water to form 250 ml of solution. Now what is the equation of molarity? Okay, molarity equal to number of moles of solute upon volume of solution in liters. Now what is number of moles of solute? The number of moles is mass upon molar mass. So mass of solute. Now here solute is NaOH. So mass of NaOH upon molar mass of NaOH divided by volume of solution in liters. Now here 250 ml of solution is there. So we will write 0.250 liters of solution. So that is equal to, now mass of NaOH given is 4 gram upon molar mass of NaOH is Na23, oxygen 16, hydrogen 1. So total is 40. So upon 40 divided by 0.250 liters. Now 4 upon 40 is 0.1. So 0.1 upon 0.250. Now here we will see that the final answer is 0.4 and the unit of molarity is mole per liter. Okay, so either you can write mole per liter or we can write down capital M as the unit of molarity. So 0.4 capital M. Now one thing which you have to remember is that in case of molarity of a solution, it depends upon temperature because volume of a solution is temperature dependent. So we can see that in the equation of molarity, in the denominator volume is there. Okay, so in the denominator volume is there and volume depends on temperature. That's why molarity also depends on temperature. So with the increase in temperature, volume of solution increases and so molarity will decrease because molarity and volume are inversely related. So with when temperature is more, volume of solution will be more and molarity will be less. Let us see a numerical based on molality, that is problem 1.8. The density of 3 molar solution of NaCl is 1.25 gram per ml. Calculate molality of the solution. Now here molarity capital M is equal to 3 molar. That can be written as 3 mole per liter. Now mass of NaCl in 1 liter solution is equal to, now mass equal to, now here you can see 3 mole per liter. That means number of moles of NaCl is 3 moles. Okay. So in order to find out mass, we have to multiply moles with molar mass. So number of moles of NaCl is 3 into molar mass is 58.5 gram. So that will be equal to 175.5 gram. Now we have to find out mass of solution. So mass of solution is equal to, that can be found from density. Okay, so density of solution is given. So mass of solution is equal to density into volume. Okay, density into volume. Now density is 1.25 gram per ml. So density is in gram per ml. So that means we have to take volume in ml. Okay. Now here we can see that molarity is 3 mole per liter. per liter means 1 liter, and in 1 liter what will be ml of the solution? 1000 ml. Okay, 1000 into 1.25, so that will be equal to 1250 gram. Now in order to find out molality, we require mass of solvent. So what will be the mass of solvent? So that is equal to solution, mass of solution minus mass of solute. So mass of solution is 1250 minus mass of solute is 175.5. So on subtracting, we will get mass of solvent as 1074.5 gram. So mass of solvent we have got. Okay. So what is the equation of molality? That is equal to number of moles of solute upon mass of solvent in kg. Now number of moles of solute is 3 moles. Okay. So 3 moles is the number of moles of NaCl divided by mass of solvent in kg. Now in gram, mass of solvent is 1074.5. So in kilogram it will be 1.0745 kilogram. So when you divide it, it will be 2.79, and the unit of molality, okay, molality is there, so unit is small n. That's all for today.